With the first pick in the 2003 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James.
The NBA season as it stands right now is heading rapidly towards the playoffs, and all eyes are going to be on the teams in them to see who comes out on top. But for many others, their eyes are already on a different goal, the NBA Draft. Because the college basketball season was able to go its mostly full-length, and many college stars are looking to enter the NBA and make their legacy like many before them. And many draft classes have come to be known as rather legendary. But which ones are the best of the best? Allow us to show you the 5 greatest NBA drafts of all time. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The 1999 Draft. The 1999 draft gave us some of the most exciting players we have over the last few decades. No one will ever forget Baron Davis leading the 8th-seeded We Believe Warriors over Dallas in the 2007 playoffs, or the countless gritty and eye-popping plays from Manu Ginobili during his career with the Spurs. Or how about bringing in Richard "Rip" Hamilton to the Detroit Pistons and helping him lead to their first NBA title since the Bad Boys era? Other key members of this draft included Jason Terry, John Marion, Metta World Peace, Lamar Odom, Andrei Kirilenko, Corey Maggette, James Posey, and Wally Sesterback. While this may not be the most prestigious NBA draft class ever, it absolutely was one that helped many teams get rings, including the Spurs, Lakers, and Pistons, among others. 1970 Draft. Yeah, we're going way back for this one, and for good reason. Of the strength of the star power in this draft, it had to be in this list. You can't have players like Piston Pete, Bob Lanier, and Tiny Archibald in the same draft and not give it the respect that it deserves. That's not even mentioning other stars like Dave Cowens, Rudy Tomanovich, Calvin Murphy, alongside key role players like Jim McMillian and Sam Lacey. The old school doesn't always get the respect it deserves, but we're giving it here. 2011 Draft. Okay, how about a draft from a decade ago? Because that was a draft that absolutely set a tone for the next 10 years in the NBA. The 2011 draft is one of the most solid drafts in NBA history in both star power and depth. Stars like Kawhi Leonard, drafted by the Pacers before being traded to the Spurs, Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson helped bring championships to their organizations. Role players like the Morris twins, Enes Kanter and Iman Shumpert were vital pieces on winning teams for years. Talk about a stacked draft. Many teams would be lost without some of these players. 1998 Draft. If you have star power like Dirk Nowitzki, Vince Carter, and Paul Pierce in the same draft, then it's going to be ranked high on general principle. These 3 players were the faces of the league for the majority of the 2000s. Also, players like Rashard Lewis and Antoine Jamison were buckets in the league during their careers. 2003 Draft. What, you really thought we wouldn't put the draft where LeBron was in it on the list? Come on, man. This wasn't even the draft, though. This was a draft that also had Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, David West, Kirk Hinrich, Kyle Korver, Boris Diaw, and more. And yes, the irony is rich in some ways, as this was the draft that led the Miami Big Three to other teams before they came together to finally win 2 titles. Carmelo Anthony is still going strong in the league, and other names you no doubt recognize. 2003 brought a massive shift to the league via the legends that would come, and while some are in their final years or have retired, some of their longevity is incredible. 1984 Draft. You could sum up this draft with 4 names: Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon, and John Stockton. All 4 of those names are Hall of Famers. All 4 of those names went to the NBA Finals. And one of those names is the greatest basketball player of all time. Oh, and all of them were on the Dream Team. Jordan changed the league, and many other players from this draft helped add to the glory that the NBA would obtain in the late 80s and 90s, and we haven't even mentioned the role players that were in this draft. So yeah, it's number 1. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the NBA draft classes that shined above all others and provided a wealth of All-Stars and Hall of Famers? Which ones do you personally feel were the best of the best in terms of who came out? Which teams do you think regretted not taking a future legend the most? Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and we will see you next time on the channel.